Hi, good morning. Just a quick overview of the guidelines, the regulations for drone operators in South Africa, and especially those of us operating drones privately without a license. Just to let you guys know where to find the information, how to stay out of trouble, what the laws are, whether they are just or not, it's for you to decide. I'm just trying to give you this information. So the law and the regulations are very specific about them, and the CAA are taking them very serious. So for all the enthusiasts and hobbyists and private users like myself, please just check out the regulations just to get a better perspective of your flight or your operating limits as a private pilot. The penalties can be quite severe, and no one wants to get a hefty fine nor have their drone confiscated. So just to quickly show you guys, you go to the CAA website, the Civil Aviation Authority's website. You will scroll down to legislation. Under legislation, you will find the South African Express Act number 34 of 2007. That is not the one. You want to go to regulations. You want to go to the Civil Aviation Regulations 2011. You want to click on that. That will open up the contents of all the parts pertaining that specific regulation, and we want to go to part 101 that deals with remotely piloted aircraft systems. So we open that up, and then clearly there's a section that points to private use. We want to open that up, and then we want to read through this. So here we have private operations with some more regulations that we will get back to, but one important thing to note is that private operations of RPAS, remotely piloted aircraft systems, shall be conducted only in RVLOS, a restricted visual line of sight, with a class 1A or 1B remotely piloted aircraft. So restricted visual line of sight means you are not allowed to fly higher than the closest obstruction within 300 meters. So if you have a tree that is, let's say, 50 foot high, or let's say 100 foot high, you are not allowed to fly higher than that obstacle within 300 meters of yourself, even though the limit for private users is 150 feet. If you are flying under restricted visual line of sight, then you have to adhere to the RVLOS rules, which is very clear. Not higher than the tallest obstruction within 300 meters. Okay, so this is extremely important. So let's go to the provisions of regulations. This is a mouthful, so it talks about everything here: weather conditions, landing on roads, controlled airspaces, releasing objects or substances. I know the fishing guys they like to take out their bait into the sea. I'm just pointing out that releasing objects or substances from your drone is illegal, but you have to do what you have to do. It deals with dangerous goods, accidents and incidents, consumption of alcohol and drugs. C2 operational requirements, precautions and safety considerations, and general restrictions. And then beyond visual line of sight, night operations, and so forth. So it's extremely important to go through these and just understand where your limitations are, what you can do, what you're not allowed to do, and what you need to take into consideration when flying a drone for private use. So just to go back to that part, we want to go to the South African, sorry, the regulations, South African Aviation 2011. Let's just try that again. There we go. So part 101, remotely piloted aircraft systems. We want to go to private operations. Then we want to look at specifically private operations. We've looked at part 101.05.5. As we just discussed, let's just see, and this part, and this also specifically are talking about weather conditions, landing on roads, controlled airspace again. So it's extremely important just to go through this section and just understand what exactly your limits are to stay within the bounds of the law. And as I said, the penalties can be quite severe. The regulations pertaining to penalties will be part 185. So if we just go down there, we'll find 185 under enforcement. This is the section that deals with the enforcement of this act and regulations and the penalties and everything you need to know concerning the enforcement of flying drones privately, and it also pertains to license holders and ROC holders. But as a private pilot, you need to take note of this. I hope this helped you guys. I hope to see you on the next time. Thank you very much.